Good afternoon. With me is Hopkinton Police Chief Rick Flannery, along with Lieutenant Alan Hunt of the State Police assigned to the Middlesex District Attorney's Office. At 8:51 this morning, the Hopkinton Police were called to the residence behind me here at 141 Hayward Street in Hopkinton. They were called by a co-worker of the man who owns the residence. They were called here for a report of two unconscious, unresponsive persons. The Hopkinton Police responded to the scene and secured the scene. The Massachusetts State Police, along with the Hopkinton Police Department, did an investigation which revealed two dead bodies. A further investigation revealed that both of the dead bodies inside were suffering from obvious gunshot wounds. What we have now learned is that the owner of the house, Todd Vogel, 43 years old, who owns the home here at 141 Hayward Street, was shot to death. He killed himself. What we also learned was his wife, Laurie Levangie, 40 years old, was also killed. The obvious evidence is that Todd Vogel killed her and then killed himself by gunshot wounds. The investigation is now being cleared, with both police departments conducting a sweep of the home, and that will conclude the investigation as it relates to the fatalities.
Any motive here?
Well, we found the two decedents. We found obvious evidence of the gunshot wounds. We found the murder weapon and obvious nature of the cause of death and manner of death.
Is there a motive here?
Well, what we've determined is this is a murder-suicide.
Any idea what may have prompted it?
We can't be clear as to the specific motivation which caused Mr. Vogel to kill his wife and himself. That investigation is ongoing. Chief Flannery knows whether or not there have been any particular calls to the home. Chief, any activity at this house?
There's been some activity in the past, but nothing of this nature.
Can you describe what those activities are?
We've handled disturbance type calls here in the past, but nothing of a domestic violence nature that we're aware of.
Chief, were there any notes left or any other evidence as to why?
We wouldn't be discussing that at this point.
Were they recently married? That's what the neighbors thought, that they were recently married.
They were recently married within the last year.
And any idea,
Yeah, we really can't comment on the specifics as to the relationship. Obviously, at some point things had gotten to a level that resulted in today's horrific tragedy, which is, of course, a very frank instance of domestic violence. Any other questions?
Were there a lot of weapons inside?
We're currently doing an inventory of evidence within the home, and to the extent that there are any other weapons besides the murder weapon, those will be cleared by the Hopkinton Police Department along with the Massachusetts State Police. The murder weapon was a firearm that was lawfully owned and possessed by Mr. Vogel.
And can you talk a little bit more, Chief, about the calls you've gotten, what kind of disturbances?
I don't have the details on those calls at this time.
Roughly how many do you think?
I don't have those details at this time.
Jerry, where were the bodies found, and you know when this happened?
We can't pinpoint the exact time that the murder-suicide took place. We do know they were both alive last night, and the bodies were found towards the side to rear entrance and exit of the home by the garage. Both of the bodies were found in close proximity to each other.
Do you know what time the shooting happened?
We can't be clear as to the exact time of the shooting. Some of that will become more clear as it relates to the assessment of the evidence that we're now gathering.